Vinland Saga was disappointing. That is something I said and indeed titled a video that I made on this channel exactly 5 years ago today. 8th of February 2020. 5 years ago. I covered season 1 of Vinland Saga on this channel because back in 2019, Demon Slayer and Vinland Saga were getting unanimous praise across the entire anime community the whole time. And I watched season 1 of Demon Slayer and thought it was quite good, but not quite the best anime of 2019. For me, that went to Mob Psycho 100 season 2. But I didn't watch Vinland Saga in 2019. I decided instead to watch it at the very start of 2020. And I didn't think it was that good. My main two problems with it is Thorfinn, who's the main character, who I didn't even think would be the main character. Instead, this guy called Thors, he was like built up to be the main character of the show. He's this all-powerful, conquering Viking warrior. And within the first couple of episodes, he's dead. Sure, the way he gets killed, he gets shot with 9 arrows. I mean, yeah, that probably would kill most people. So I get the way he died isn't the problem. It's the fact that he died so early in the show after they built him up as this all-powerful warrior. And my second problem with it was Thorfinn, the actual main character. In my opinion, in season 1 of the show, he has absolutely no character development at all. He's the same. All he cares about is vengeance. He cares about nothing else. He doesn't care who he has to kill, what villages he has to help destroy in order to achieve his goal. He does not care. There is no character development from him in season 1. I still stand by that as well. So what I would like you guys to do is go check out that video. It will be linked in the description, my first Vinland Saga video, and after you've watched it, read the comments. Please read the comments on that video, because I've never seen any comments on my videos articulate their points so specifically against the arguments that I was making in my video. I've never seen the like of it, before or since. People really went into detail with why I was wrong about what I was saying. So, the question we have now, and that I'm going to pose and answer to you today is, well, you've read the title of the video, that's the question. Was Vinland Saga Season 2 disappointing? Well, I'd say no, it wasn't, and I'll get on to that, but the second point for why Vinland Saga Season 1 was disappointing, Thorfinn, he's what I want to focus on mostly in this video. Does Thorfinn actually have character development in Season 2 compared to Season 1? Well, you'd hope so, otherwise my argument actually would become quite valid then. But no, he does indeed have character development in Season 2. He does. We first meet him on this farm where he is a slave. If you've watched the things that Thorfinn did in Season 1, you gotta wonder, how the hell did you become a slave when you kicked so much ass on the battlefield when you were a kid? You didn't care who you had to kill, what you had to do. You helped in the destruction and conquering of so many villages across Season 1. And yet, in Season 2, he's somehow a slave. Basically, because he's a slave and he doesn't really have many things going on in his life anymore, he just works on the farm as a slave. That's it. So he has a lot more time to reflect on the type of person he is and the things that he's done in his life. He finally gets to reflect on just how much damage and destruction he actually caused in the first season of the show. Whether it was helping Askeladd on his village conquering, because that's who Thorfinn wanted desperately to kill and take vengeance on, because it was Askeladd's orders that killed his father, that killed Thorfinn's father, Thor's. Or if it was helping Thorkeld, who was like the strongest Viking warrior in the land after Thor's. And Thorfinn spent quite a bit of time with him in season 1. Now, both of those two have died in season 1, but they do both make an appearance in season 2 in like flashbacks, and also this like nightmare world that Thorfinn ends up in, because every time Thorfinn goes to sleep, he has nightmares about the things he has done in the past. And one of them, he ends up in the underworld and starts speaking to Askeladd. And even visions of Askeladd start appearing around Thorfinn, literally talking to him. When that happened, I was thinking, what are you doing here? You are the last person that Thorfinn needs to be hearing from right now. You're not even alive anymore. So Thorfinn strikes up a friendship with this guy called Einar, who is originally kind of like he's the very first person we get introduced to in season 2 of Vinland Saga. He is also taken to the same farm as what Thorfinn is already part of, and he works as a slave just like Thorfinn does. And whenever Einar gets angry and wants to fight against, whether it's the farmhands workers who basically are like the slaves but are treated significantly better and actually get paid for what they do, unlike the slaves. But Thorfinn says to Einar, are you really prepared to fight? Do you really understand the gravity of what you are going to do? Because Thorfinn has so much experience on the battlefield. He knows what it's like. He knows the things you have to do to survive. He knows that he knows the horrific acts you have to perform to stay alive in this world. So that's why every time Einar wants to fight, Thorfinn does whatever he can to try and stop him from doing so. Then one of Thorfinn's dreams he has, this is just after he gets punched in the face by one of the farmhands. He starts dreaming about his father, Thor's. He basically doesn't realise it's a dream, and Thor's tells him that nobody is your enemy. Even those who you think are your enemy are not your enemy. And also, while Thorfinn was hearing this, just beforehand, this old guy who used to own the farm, he was having the Bible read to him, and Thorfinn was eavesdropping on the Bible reading. Because Thorfinn isn't a Christian himself, but he was interested in listening to as they call it, the good book. So after being told by his father in a dream, Thorfinn rejects the concept of enemies. He says nobody is my enemy. And he tries to get this idea into Einar's head. Doesn't work though, not really. Because Einar and Thorfinn are very different people. And even in the face of conflict, Thorfinn really doesn't want to fight anyone. Even if it feels like he has to, he still tries to do whatever he can to not do so. He feels it's much more important to protect others than attack the so-called enemies. He believes that protection is better than attacking. But when it did come for the time where Thorfinn actually had to fight somebody, he took up the same battle stance which is this, just like he did when he was a kid, when he had two little knives and daggers, when he was fighting on the battlefield all the time. So yes, Thorfinn very much does indeed have plenty of character development in Vinland Saga Season 2. He reflects on all the atrocities he either caused or helped cause. All the people he killed on the battlefield, even innocent people he killed for no good reason, apart from he was blinded by anger and rage because of what happened to Thors at the very beginning of the show. But now, to answer the actual question that the video is titled, was Vinland Saga Season 2 disappointing? The thing is, it wasn't. No, I didn't think it was I didn't think it was anything bad. It's just people talk about it as this like all-conquering masterpiece of a show. Sort of how people say the same thing about Attack on Titan, and you guys know my opinions on that. Not the biggest fan of Attack on Titan. This show kind of falls into that bracket for me. I know it's objectively an incredible show. It's just not a show for me. Viking stories, they're just not something I find particularly that enjoyable. It's a big part of why when I saw the Assassin's Creed Valhalla trailer, I thought, wow, this game is going to be terrible. Because in that trailer, until the hidden blade right at the end is shown off, you would not have known that was an Assassin's Creed game based on the trailer. And that was the biggest problem. And really, Assassin's Creed 4 was the first game to cause this issue, where it was more about pirates than assassins, and that theme of being about something else other than assassins kept going throughout the games. But enough about Assassin's Creed. We're talking about Vinland Saga. So yeah, Viking stories just do not do it for me. So I can appreciate what Vinland Saga is as a show, and what it's done, because it's objectively an incredible masterpiece, but subjectively, for me, it's just not a show that I like very much. It's not a bad show, definitely not that. It's just not a show that I feel is as great as what everyone else says it is, just like Attack on Titan. It's one of those types of shows for me. But yeah, that is going to do it for this video. 5 years on from my first Vinland Saga video, we returned to it. Will I cover Season 3 of the show if there is one? No, I won't. Will I watch it? Maybe, but there's no chance of me covering it on the channel. Just going to put that out there right now. Not going to cover Season 3 of Vinland Saga if there is one. But that's going to do it for this video. If you guys have enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and until we meet again, goodbye for now.